Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's getting a little cool again.
Yeah, a little cool. Those thunderstorms moved through yesterday morning, cooled us right off, which I don't understand. Is it the thunderstorms that bring the cold front, or is it the cold front that brings the thunderstorms? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg?
I always assumed, well, actually, I don't know now that you say that.
Well, and like when I'm watching like some of those advanced weather things, like with Eric Snodgrass and all, I think it's like there's a cold front. It's going to bring a line of thunderstorms. So I guess they would say it's that front. I guess it's all in one. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, but it does make, I just associate thunder with warmer weather.
Right.
So there's like a part of me that almost would feel like it's that moving out and the cold coming in. But yeah, maybe it's just the collision of the two.
Yeah, if we got any meteorologists out there, which is it? Is it the cold front bringing the storm, or the storm bringing the cold front? But,
yeah, I'd like to know that.
Yeah, well, I woke up yesterday morning, I was like, shit. I was like, I rolled back over and slept for about another 30 minutes. I was like, I ain't going out and doing chores. That's the first thing. I had me a little coffee, read the good book for a minute, and then I go do chores. Within about 20 minutes of me waking up, I'm out of the house, and I was like, ain't no point in getting up in this. Like it was.
Yeah, it was hammering.
Storm, and then it pretty much cooled off all day long. Like I got hot that morning when I was doing chores. Yeah. By later on, I was like, it's chilly out here.
I had to get up. I guess 4 o'clock. I woke up to a huge clash of thunder. Man, it was a booming thing of thunder out there, and we don't have blinds or nothing on our house yet because we moved and we got no curtains. So when a flash of lightning or something would happen, it's like blasting in the bedroom. And of course, at 4 o'clock, this like boom of thunder and lightning happens. And so my daughter ends up in our bed, which is fine. Hey, she's 6 years old. I'm not mad at her. I get it. But Levi, he slept like a champ. He never even knew it stormed. But yeah, it did some serious thundering out there. I'm trying to think. There was something else. There was one other thing. Well, before we get into this, first, we need you to leave us a rating and a review. Need you to hit that like and subscribe button. And guys, leave us a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave us a comment. If you're watching it on Spotify, you can actually leave a comment. But we'd really love to hear from you guys. If you have any question that's just burning a hole in your brain and you want to ask us, there is no dumb question. So submit your questions, talkdirtpodcast.com, contact page. Do it on there. We get a few on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of those, they get lost in the abyss. I'm not good at keeping up with those. So just send them on the email. I try to respond on like Instagram. If you message us on Facebook, you're like probably you might as well just send that into the nether realm.
I didn't even know we had a Facebook.
Yeah, we got like 9,000 followers on there.
Well,
we actually have the largest presence on Facebook.
If I ever have another Facebook account, I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah.
Which I use my wife's account to get on Marketplace, and
yeah, we're on there on Facebook, but I don't ever check it.
Which kind of speaking of Facebook and ag, I listed my big tractor for sale.
Yeah.
I put it on Tractor House, which ain't cheap.
No, I've used it.
I had it up there for about a couple months, and actually I told them the other day, they called me, I was like, don't renew it, because I only gotten like 2 calls from Tractor House. And I was like, hell, I might as well put it on Facebook Marketplace. And I mean, one guy has come and looked at it, but I've had a ton of phone calls, like people that are like, sound really super serious.
Really interested,
They're not like right around here like, man, I can get down there, come see it, kind of thing. I'm like, well, I'll be danged. Like Facebook Marketplace, Mike.
It beats the hell out of Tractor House. I've listed several pieces of equipment on Tractor House, and I think I've ended up selling almost all of those pieces of equipment on Facebook.
Yeah. Here's a funny story. So I was looking for a 4-wheeler. We're going down all kinds of rabbit holes tonight. Just because, one, I broke timing chain and my side-by-side, it's kind of out of commission, and 2, duck hunting, we drive like 90 miles, and across the river, interstate, whatever. Wanted a four-wheeler, so I put it in the back of the truck. So I find one on Craigslist.
Yeah.
So I think I had to reply to him by email, but of course it doesn't tell you your name.
There's still Craigslist?
Oh yeah, I get on there all the time. Just
oh hell, I didn't know it was still a thing.
I love like looking at stuff like that's a scam.
Yeah.
It'll be like a $70,000 tractor. It'd be like $15,000. I'm like,
yep,
not even gonna call that one. But so I emailed this guy, and then he's like, yeah, here's my phone number, and so I was texting him, and four-wheeler was right here in the county. It was recent guest Keith Anderson.
Oh, really? Really?
When he told me where the four-wheeler was, it was at the airport. I was like, what? I was like, well, okay. Then I pulled up, and I was like, I'll be damned.
So you went to look at it?
I bought it.
Oh, did you? What did he say when he saw you get out?
He's like, I didn't even know people looked at Craigslist anymore.
Shit, I didn't either. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Now, I have not had a ton of good experiences with Craigslist.
Yeah.
You're always worried, like, you pull up to buy something, like,
they're going to kill you.
Like, I got a handgun on me because they know I'm bringing cash.
Dude, any of those. When I sold I had a YFZ450 years ago, four-wheeler that I sold on Craigslist, and I would make them, like that dude, I made him meet me in the Walmart parking lot, like in a very populated area. Like, I want to be around people. And yeah, I had like, man, I don't even think, this was back before I had like good holsters and stuff. I mean, this would have been, man, I'd been 19 years old. Wasn't even legally able to have a handgun, but I had one hot in like my back pocket. Like if he tries anything.
Tried to just steal it from you.
Yeah. So, Craigslist.
But I was super excited. It was like, as soon as I saw it was Keith, I was like, oh, hell, I'm going to buy it for sure. Because buying something used like that, you just don't ever know.
No, you don't.
But then he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, hell, if it take it home and just won't run or anything, just bring it back. I'll give you your money back. I was like, yeah. I was like, no, I feel pretty good about this deal now. But,
that's hilarious. Wow. Yeah, that is funny.
I've been running the hell out of it.
Well, good, man.
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, because until a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have known him. Like, that was the first time I'd met him.
It was just the wheels of fate.
Yeah, that's right. I was destined to have that
You were
four-wheeler.
destined to have that four-wheeler. Yeah. It's going to take you to the new heights.
But
you know where you cannot get a four-wheeler, but you can get a lot of awesome other things?
And a lot of good deals.
You could get some toy four-wheeler probably for your kids for Christmas.
I bet I almost guarantee you they got one in their toy line.
I would think so. It might be a pushing it to get it here by Christmas, but you could tell them that you got them something really, or it'd be that after Christmas surprise. It'd come in and be like, oh, Santa must have forgot that.
Yeah, it got stuck under the tree and you didn't see it. But yeah, go to agzaga.com. Use the discount code TalkDirt, all caps, all one word. Yep. Yeah, you may be a little late on the Christmas shopping. Hopefully, a lot of you have already put in those orders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I better be careful what I say. I don't know who all might listen to this.
Yeah.
Young ears.
Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to.
But I would not be surprised if there's something from Santa Claus under our tree this year that might have. Santa shops at agzaga.com. He definitely does.
Oh, yeah.
But all the Bailnet wrap, all the other good stuff, too. Check them out. Use that discount code.
Yep. Talk Dirt, all caps, all one word. Did you watch the finale, Yellowstone?
I have not. My wife, actually, tonight, I was getting my son in bed. Man, she was walking around in nothing but a T-shirt and a pair of panties. I was like, oh, good Lord.
Had y'all messed up.
I was like, I got to go record a podcast. She's like, oh, damn, I wanted to watch Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's what she wanted to do, huh?
Yeah, now I'm all flustered again. But now, well, the NFR had us for 10 straight nights.
Yeah.
And so we were, I guess, 2 weeks behind. And so we've had stuff going on all week. We had a school program one night. We had a Christmas party last night. So I thought, it was just this week that I watched the next to last episode. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen some people's reaction. I hadn't seen total spoilers. And if you've seen it, I probably don't even want to talk to you about it yet. But a lot of people seem kind of let down by it.
I wasn't.
You weren't? Okay, good.
No,
I don't want to.
Look, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I'm going to say this because that's what I've seen.
I have what I think, and this is what I thought would be the resolution for a long time, but I don't know.
Tell me I won't give you a response on whether or not it is. Like, I'll just...
So I always go back to 1883 when not John, but whoever Tim McGraw's character's name was, the original Dutton, gets there into the valley, and he's like there with the Indians or Native Americans, whatever we're supposed to say.
The red man.
And the Redskins. Yeah, Washington says we can't say that anymore. But anyway, he says, yeah, you can have this valley, this land for 7 generations, whatever, and then it'll come back. And I was like, well, Tate is half Indian.
Is he 7th generation?
I don't know if the generations work out.
I got you.
I hadn't put the pencil to all that, but I was like, surely there's some kind of a loophole there where they can put the ranch in his name, and then it's like, I don't know if that's even.
It's interesting. It's an interesting theory.
So yeah.
I can't give you a yes or a no, but
that was always my theory all along. So I'll figure out a way to put it in Tate's name. That way, it's still a Dutton, but they'll play the
Native American
Native
card,
American minority card. Like you can't. Here they are trying to take that land from the Indians still all these years later. Yeah.
But I don't know. Look, I had seen a bunch of people. Yeah, they were like, "Man, that ending was lame." This, and I was let down. First of all, I feel like
they're going to do another spinoff. I'd heard that there's going to be a show centered around Beth and Rip.
I think they talked about it, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, there's going to be like a 4 sixes show, yeah. And they still got to do 1923.
I know it starts in February.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that one. I actually have enjoyed it more than any of them.
That was probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
1883 was good, but 1923, yeah.
1883 made me want to eat a bullet. And so, yeah.
I thought it was really good, though.
Oh, it was very good, but I wanted to kill myself at the end of it.
Well, but they all die, but you knew it was going to... You didn't know they were going to die, but you knew there wasn't going to be a second season of it. So those characters were all going to be dead to you anyway.
Yeah, well, they're dead to me, all right.
But damn, 1923, you're like... Is Spencer ever going to come home?
I know.
What the fuck, dude?
And if he don't get there and absolutely kick some ass, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like. Everybody is just waiting for Spencer to come beat the, just
well, the whole season you think, all right, next episode, I bet he arrives back in Montana.
And then like a whale eats his ship and he's in there.
Like, hell, he ain't no closer to being home than he was in episode 1.
No. But no.
Anyway. Yeah.
1923 is badass. But, no, I thought the finale was pretty good. Considering what they had to work with, I'm like, you know what?
I don't even know when I'll watch it because tomorrow night's Friday night. We usually go out to eat. Chance I might drive to Arkansas to duck hunt Saturday morning. Saturday night, you know what we'll be watching?
What?
Logan.
Saturday night. What's Saturday night?
College football playoffs.
Oh, shit. I ain't thinking about that.
Oh, damn.
I was going to say Saturday night I might be watching A Christmas Story. Is that what you were getting at?
We're going to revoke your state of Tennessee citizenship.
Oh, I mean, hey, I'll be happy if they win, but I ain't.
We're going to beat those damn Yankees.
Who are they playing? Ohio?
Ohio
State,
okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, I want Tennessee to win, but there's probably a 7% chance that I'll be tuning into that game.
Oh, shit. There's about a 7% chance I'll be there. That's about what I would put it at. I had somebody trying to give me 2 tickets today, or I'm sure I was going to pay him for them. He's like, I got 2 extras, which hell, there's tickets.
I'm surprised you ain't going.
It's just so dang close to. I mean, it really wouldn't be that expensive of a trip. It's the time. I mean,
yeah, you're gonna get out there and then airplanes will break down, and you're gonna get snowed in, and then you'll miss Christmas here with your family.
That ain't that far of a drive. About half the people I know that are going to driving. So
really?
Fine, yeah.
Man, no. Saturday night, I'll probably watch a movie more than likely.
Dude, it's the first time ever in this format.
Yeah. I'll probably be watching a movie.
Oh wow.
I mean, hey, like I said, in spirit, I'm with Tennessee in spirit. If they win, I'll be like, all right, good. If they lose, I'll be like, damn. But I'll hear about it afterwards. I'll Google it when they're playing. And if I'm actually when they play a game because hell, I've said before, I don't watch UFC. Is honestly the only sport that I even really watch, and the NFR. I mean, I consider that a sport, but I watch it. But man, I just don't. If football what time's the game come on?
7 o'clock.
All right, to see if it'd come on at 10 o'clock, I'd watch them.
PM?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the
See,
problem.
I don't know if I could watch it.
See,
I mean, I would just because it's Tennessee.
See,
but,
fans would do it. See, I've told several people this. I'm like,
I've told some people, I wish we were playing the afternoon game.
oh, no. No, see, 7 o'clock is not awful. But
yeah, 7 Central, yeah.
I would be more inclined, like, I could actually get down with watching football if they played at like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, I wouldn't see a single game.
Yeah, because I don't sit still. At 7 o'clock, I'm still like moving around, and hell, we're usually eating dinner at around 7 o'clock, and so 10 o'clock would be more my style.
Yeah, that's my wife's like, what are we gonna do for the game? I'm like, I'm gonna be sitting on the couch, hopefully with nobody around me or talking to me, like zoned in. Like the Super Bowl's when you have a party because I don't give a shit who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like
so you'll be too in the zone on this to actually like you wouldn't want somebody there like talking to you while you're watching.
No, it has to be somebody that's every bit as into it and knowledgeable about it as I am.
So if I was there and I'm like, look at this funny meme on Instagram.
Yeah. Or even like my wife, because she watches all the games, but like she doesn't really like if I'm at a game, I want her there with me. It was like my brother and a couple of buddies.
Yeah.
And of course
They're like, that's Carlton. That bastard graduated from South Fulton High School. He's gonna, that's the guys you want.
And of course, we're a lot of times with media technology, we'll text and whatnot. But
yeah, no, not me. That couldn't be the polar opposite of me there. But we got a couple of things we got to hit on. First, I feel like we got to highlight the farm bill. So this is like the burning topic in the world right now, and man, this is really interesting because the ag community is like almost split down the middle on this. The Standard Grain that I give a shout out to, their badass marketing stuff. They do it every day. Every day, Monday through Friday. And they've been covering it. And they did a poll. They got a lot of like people that tune in, and it was like, do farmers want this payment? And what do you think the majority did or didn't?
So I was going to talk about that too. I would say the majority did want it.
The majority did not want it. It was 55% no to 40. Well, I guess it'd be 45% yes. And they gave comments, and it was like a lot of guys were like, we don't need these payments because we need to weed out the people that can't survive.
Well, it's just inflation for agriculture.
Yeah.
It does not actually. It's like the $600 check or whatever you got for COVID. It didn't. That money doesn't stay in the farmer's pocket.
No.
It jacks up rent prices.
That's exactly what they're saying. They're like, it's going to run rent prices up.
It's just inflation.
Yeah.
It's literally just inflating things. I think the people who want it more than anything are the big ag corporate groups, because it allows them to keep charging too damn much for their stuff.
Yeah.
And I when I first read the headline for that one article, which funny thing is they still haven't got anything passed. Like,
no, I don't think it will now.
Well,
not this year anyway.
Well, it's like, I was like, why did this article even come out?
If it don't pass, tomorrow's the last day.
Okay.
So it's going to be
I'm
dead.
Not even that up on it.
It might actually be dead at midnight tonight. It's either midnight tonight or tomorrow.
Well, Trump and Vance came out like
against it,
ripped it. But so at first when I saw it, and I was like, oh, money, and like for a second I got like a little like
little boner.
Yeah, right, like a little hit of adrenaline, and then I was like, I felt almost like a crackhead that was like just needing that extra hit.
Yeah,
it was like, because you get excited about it, and then you like feel guilty, and you're like, no, this is stupid. Like,
yeah.
But it's like, ooh, money, give me money.
No, dude, totally.
But then I'm telling myself like, no, even though it feels good for a moment to get that, have that whatever hit your checking account. No, it's bad long term for you, for the industry.
Yeah.
For pretty much everybody. I mean, it could be good for the landowners, could be good for the retailers, the big corporate groups, because they're the ones that are going to end up getting all that money.
I got the text from, I'm in the Farm Bureau, and I got a text from Farm Bureau, and it was like, act now, reach out to your representatives, whatever. So I did that. I was like, all right. So I clicked on the thing, and it pulled up, and Because that's how at first, I mean, look, I've shared, man, I had a terrible year. So in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I could definitely use this. So I sent the little things and it was funny, man, I can't stand the guy, but Steve Cohen, is he your guy too?
He's my congressman, yeah.
Man, Steve
I think
Cohen.
as long as you live on this side of the highway, Cohen's our guy. If you're east of the highway, Highway 51, you get
he is a Democrat cockroach, and so I sent him. His office got one. I think I can't remember who all of them were, but anyway, I did the little thing, which it's all automated. You like just put in your information, hit send, and it like sends out this thing, and but then that's how it was afterwards. After I sent the things, and I got to thinking, I'm like, well, shit. I can't want this thing. Like, yes, it would be nice. Like you said, it'd be a good shot in the arm.
But you'd be like a crackhead getting a high.
Yeah.
You get a brief high, and then
but like
you're worse off for it.
I'm worse off for it, and it's literally all of it is just gonna. Yeah, like I said, actually, all of it would go just to retailer immediately. Like just to pay off some shit.
They're the people who really want it.
Yeah,
and of course they're the ones that control the ag media and all that, and so.
But Steve Cohen's response was pretty comical. So the bill, let me see. I got his email.
Well, see, I don't even, because, traditionally Democrats love to give away money.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's why he won't support it, because it actually doesn't give away enough money.
That was his response. Like, this bill doesn't go far enough.
Yeah, because
we need more inflation.
They cut SNAP benefits. They reduced it by like.
Hell, my whole thing is cut it all out. Like, don't give the farmers any subsidies. Cut out SNAP benefit. Like,
hell yeah, let's be. I'm a natural selection guy myself. So yeah, he wrote, "Dear Mr. Hanks, thank you for contacting me with your thoughts about the 2024 Farm Bill. I appreciate your interest." And he wrote this. It's this long thing. I mean, it's on his website. This is kind of how it sends it to you, but it's on here, and he's. Unfortunately, Speaker Johnson's lack of engagement in the Farm Bill process has hindered the passage of a full 5-year bill. His refusal to commit the necessary resources and his issue with them. Let me find it. All right. And this is what Steve says he's for. He says, this includes incorporating Inflation Reduction Act conservation funding with climate-smart guardrails. What the hell is climate-smart guardrails?
Carbon capture bullshit and all that. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then he said addressing SNAP benefit skimming, securing economic assistance, and supporting orphan programs. These enhancements are critical to maintain progress for farmers, rural communities, and low-income families as we continue to work toward passing a robust 5-year farm bill. Yeah, I mean, that's this thing there.
Yeah, it goes back to like, those people that are getting those SNAP benefits, like, it feels good in the short term. Like, oh yeah.
And they're just a pawn.
And I don't want anybody to go hungry, but so teach a man to fish, or give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. Like,
well, that's what I felt dirty after I got this email. I was like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have sent those emails. Because, I'm like, I'm no better than those freaking leeches on Snap. I mean, which, and people, like, I've had plenty of people that are like, man, it's different, farming. You do provide a service and all this, and so it's not like you're just wanting a handout.
We don't want farming to go away, not in this country. We don't want to be food insecure and rely on imports and just say, it's just let Brazil grow it. They can grow it cheaper than we can. We'll do something else. But I saw a pretty good conversation on Twitter, which sometimes that happens, where a guy pointed out that in his area, rolling hills, it's cattle country primarily. The ground is just more suited for grass than it is growing crop. But he's like, because of the subsidies, he can't, like a farm came up for rent. The guy sold off all his cows, but he got outbid by a crop farmer, but it's because they're counting on, they get subsidies payments. Yeah. And I was like, well, yes, that does kind of piss me off, because as a cattleman, I'm like, I don't, like, whatever. I'm not row crop farmer. It doesn't help me or hurt me.
Yeah.
But I guess in a way, but if somebody else is getting those benefits and we're not, and a lot of the fertilizers I use are the same fertilizers crop farmers are using, and when these subsidies and all keep inflating those things, it does hurt some of us that are a little bit outside of that world, but not completely outside of ag.
Well, and that was the big thing that, like that on that standard grain, that was the huge thing. Them guys were like, we need to cull the fat on the farm.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, and it's funny to say that because we also, you know, I beat the drum that like, you know, we need young guys in ag and all this.
It's a tough balancing act because I think we do need more farmers, you know, when we make up such a tiny percentage of the overall population. The average age is going up, but, you know, I think obviously our perfect answer is, you get more farmers, younger farmers, but
diverse.
More diverse, you know, smaller operations.
Gay, you know, we need more gay farmers.
Bring them on. Like I don't care.
Cocaine farmers. Well, you know, we just need them all.
Yeah, hey, there's where you make some money.
A gay cocaine farmer.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he could even be prosecuted because I mean, you can't. I mean,
a tranny gay cocaine farmer. Yeah, they might just let him off the hook. Let them off the hook.
They check enough boxes. They've been persecuted enough.
That's right. Right.
But so it is tough but we also know that the way these subsidies work, there's loopholes and ways that the big get bigger. You know, that they get stronger. While you know the little guy that supposedly you think that these things are going to really help out, it doesn't. And
that's what the politicians all claim. They all claim it's like, oh, this is for the small farmers. Like even, you know, I'm really intrigued to see what this new Secretary of Ag is going to do because she has said that she's for the small farmers. And it's like, well, I feel like all of them say that. Everybody says it. So I'm hoping that she don't have a track record for us to really look at and say, what's it going to be? So I'm really hoping that because, man, yeah, the subsidies and these payments, and I know what'll happen. They're going to put a cap on it. The last figures I heard, it actually had come down. It was like, initially it was going to be like $49 an acre for soybeans and about $100 an acre for corn. I actually heard corn had gone up to 102. Soybeans had come down to like $32 an acre, which is pretty shitty. I mean, I'm like, damn. But they'll put a cap on it. They'll say, all right, you can only get 150,000 or something. And the problem with that, again, as I've said many times, we've talked about on here, is all these big guys got 9 or 10 tax entities, and they'll just cap them all out, and they'll get a big ass check. A guy like me would get about 30 grand, and then like you got a guy getting 30 grand versus a guy getting like 1.5 million. And it's like, damn. And so, you know, that's where it's frustrating. I did see where some guys that were saying that some guys were arguing on Facebook in another farming page I'm on they were for the payment. They were like, we need the payment. You know, like some of us are drowning over here. We need the payment. And they're like, you know, we're young guys. We're leveraged to the max. I get it. Like it's not necessarily terrible business decisions that have put them in this position as much as they just aren't they don't have the capital history to have the equity to survive. Right. And so they're like, we need this. And they said what they need to do is they need to base it off of your yields. Like, and I don't know how you would figure it up, but they're like, if they need to figure it up, your APH history of your yield, like if whatever you report, like if you cut 30 bushel beans here, but you typically cut 55 bushel beans there, then you would trigger the payment. Like they were like, they need to set it.
That's just insurance.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and you already have that, but
yep.
I don't know. You know, we've talked, you know, one of the reasons grain markets suck is, I mean, supply and demand. You know, there's too much supply right now, you know, relative to the demand. But see, right, you talk about trimming the fat, like, yeah, we're farming some acres we probably shouldn't be farming. And there's probably some people farming that shouldn't be farming.
Yep. And that is just the hard reality, which
and you hope there is guys the young guy that's just trying to get his, you know, feet on the ground and get it figured out.
I'm sure there's plenty of veterinarians that were in the course of America where you could be like, you know, they probably aren't very good. They probably shouldn't be practicing.
You know, yeah. Right, yeah. I'll leave it. Yeah. Or some that shouldn't be there's other things you can do within the industry besides just being in general practice, or owning a practice, and there's definitely some.
Yep. Yeah, so it's not like we're picking on this industry. I mean, that's just the industry that we're definitely in. But I've said the same. I mean, that there's guys that I think everybody, like all these people, they want to be a farmer, and I have people that have asked me over the years. I've had too many people to count that have asked me how they can become a farmer. And I am certain some of them that have asked me would probably be great farmers. And I am also certain that some of them that have asked me would be terrible farmers.
I mean, it's just natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course things. Yeah. Some people,
and I'm sure, do you experience on the cattle side doing it the way you do you get like crippling stress from it?
At certain times.
Yeah. See, and that's, that's how I have no doubt. Like, I actually was going to say, like, I've got more, Bobby Lee is 8 years older than me. And, I've got significantly more gray in my beard, but you have some.
I was about to say, I hadn't had mine grown out. I think the longer mine grows out, because I was noticing that because I've had just a mustache for so long.
I'm seeing some gray come in there. Yeah. I mean,
but
mine, when we look at old pictures, when I was a machinist, I had a big, huge beard, and my beard was it looked like Blackbeard. That thing was just, it was brown, but it was just super brown and dark. And then I became a farmer, and it's like every year it gets a little bit grayer. And so I don't think that, and I don't say this like tooting my own horn here, because hell, this year about drove me crazy, but I don't think a lot of these people have the mental fortitude to be a farmer.
Yeah, and I'm, because farming is definitely my secondary income, and so it's, I could lose my ass farming. I don't think I could ever lose it all.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. No, that's a stupid thing to say. But
that is dangerous words. Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like if I woke up tomorrow and every cow on the farm was dead, and didn't have any insurance or anything, right, I could survive.
Yeah.
I could dig my way out of that. Well, just certain things, not even. Well, and it always comes out, ultimately the financial side of it. When we get a new group of calves in, and they're just there, you're turning them, makes it a little hard to sleep at night there, a time or two. And then, but I don't know, there's something, and I'm sure you're the same way, the gamble of, it's like going to the casino or gambling on a ball game, that you get a high from that, a rush.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah, it's addicting.
Hell yeah, lay it all out there on the line, and when it hits, you're just like, oh, hell yeah. It's a rush.
Yeah.
That's why I like, which I've known farmers that had gambling problems, and I've known some that were the opposite, that were like, no, hell, going to the casino ain't nothing.
We'll gamble for a living.
Yeah. I gamble hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars every year.
Yeah.
Me going to a blackjack table with a couple grand, what? I can't even get a thrill out of that.
That's where I've told some people farming. And I'm no big farmer. The biggest I've worked, I've lost some ground to solar panels. The biggest I was around 1,500 acres, and which is pretty good for one man. And at that size, you're spending and taking in. You're approaching the door of $1 million. Yeah. And that's where
I got $1 million gamble every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can go to the casino unless I want to.
And it deadens you to money. Yeah. That's right. Where I've realized that, and I could use the funds. Hell, I did some bush hogging for hire this year just to try to make some extra money. But it makes you think, I can remember, and again, I'm going to harken back to when I was machining. I made decent money when I was a machinist, but when I was machining, if somebody was like, hey man, I got this little side thing I need you to do, I'll pay you $500. I'd probably be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I can get $500. It'd be nice. If somebody said that to me, hell, that I'm in farming, I'm like, I don't give a shit about doing that. It just, or you find something happens on your tractor. And it's well, that bill is $3,500. It's like, okay, well, it's $3,500, and like it is what it is, and so like,
oh yeah, no, I've noticed that too. Which, thankfully, the older I've gotten, and I'm more financially stable now than I was years ago. But like,
yeah,
remember, used to you go to a restaurant, and you're like, all right, the ribeye is $35. I can get the fish, and it's 22.
yes,
and I'm like, 13 more bucks.
Yeah,
like hell. When I sell a load of calves, like I mean, for 75, 80 grand, like what's $13
yep.
to me? Or,
yep.
I mean,
oh yeah,
right, like yeah,
it does. It deadens you to it, and like when you strike a check, like when I pay a input bill for $300,000. You write a check for $300,000.
Yeah, the $20 you spent on lunch, you're like,
yeah, it's like, well, hell, that ain't shit. Yeah, hell.
I should have upsized it.
Yes. So that's, and I'm not telling people that that's a good mentality to have.
No,
it's not. It's not, because the guys that are doing really well are the guys that are like, no. Like they're super. They're tight. They're tight on it.
Well, and that's. I've been amazed over the years, knowing people that were super successful, very well off. I didn't look at their bank account, but like, no, they had, and some of those guys like were as tight as they come.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow. Like, and I don't know, I think there's good and bad to that, because
you need to enjoy it. Shit. I mean,
well, and I feel like too, like I'm not like Oprah, giving away cars or anything, but like I try to be generous like that too. When I'm eating out at a restaurant, like,
I'm a big tipper.
What? Right. Exactly. I would look at these people like, look, use this a young person, or
if a meal's $200, I'll give them $2.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, they earned it. But you know what? I'm like, this is somebody either working a second job sometimes, or I mean, they're in college working their way through. Like, hey, I'm 41 years old now, got a good career.
Yeah.
Like, let me help them out. So yeah, I mean, it's not all bad when you spend a little extra. Hey, I'm stimulating the economy.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I am like, with as much work goes into farming, I'm like, by God, I'm going to enjoy a little bit of this cash.
Mm.
Like, even though then you get to the end of the year sometimes, and it's like, well, I don't have enough left,
Well,
but
it's funny because I talked about the four-wheeler earlier. I didn't talk on here last week about trying to buy the four-wheeler a week ago, did I?
No.
God dang. I was tight on that deal. They pissed me off so bad at the Honda dealership.
Oh, no. Well, you had told, I think you had just told me.
Oh, yeah, they pissed me off. All the damn hidden fees.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a used four-wheeler.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be any happier with that four-wheeler. And the fact that I bought it from somebody I knew.
I know. That's just like I said, it was fate.
Well, and if I was buying it off some just random stranger.
You're probably going to become like a motocross racer now.
Yeah, in my 40s.
And your 40s, and what is the four-wheeler? Is it a Can-Am?
No, it's a Honda Foreman.
Okay, yeah, you'll probably go race.
I don't. It's like an 03. I don't even know they made a Can-Am back then.
You're gonna go. It was a Bombardier.
Yeah, that's what they.
Bombardier was a.
BRP is.
Yeah, because I used to back when I was into I got the Dirt Wheels magazine. I used to be all into four wheelers back then, but I
definitely couldn't afford the Can-Ams because I looked at them.
They're high. They're high, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what the farm bill. That was y'all's like a whole rant on some of the farm economics, but
yeah. So we were on the same page there. Yeah. Just as I read that article, and it was written very much from the title of the article was "Ag Gets Potential Christmas Gift from Congress."
Yeah. Yeah, it's like what a gift. Even though
but AgWeb is, they're controlled by the corporate groups.
You know, it's not like we've been paying taxes and shit that's going to this, and so they're suddenly going to give us a gift.
Yeah, it's literally, it's just inflation for agriculture. It's just,
But it's not. I don't think it's coming this year. I don't think it's coming this year, and I do think it is coming. I think it'll happen, but it's going to be in 2025. And if you're listening and it happens, then by God, go get in on the payment because your neighbors will. So the only thing that we could have hoped for, honestly, is that it just didn't happen. That's what you got to hope for. And I'm not trying to piss off guys that are listening that are like, well, we need that payment. Look, hey, dude, I get it, man. I tell you, I had a terrible year too.
Yeah, it will be a short-term fix for you.
Yes.
But it's not. It's for the when you're looking at the 10, 15, 20 year out, like it's going to be worse for you in the long run.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse for everybody other than the landowners, which I know a lot of farmers own their own land, but the landowners that are renting their farms out, to the big retailers, to the corporate ag groups, like that's who's going to benefit from this, not the farmer long term.
And I tell you, I also was even mad at myself for emailing that thing because the differences in the bills. The chick from South Carolina, she's pretty hot. What's her? Do you know who I'm talking about? She's like a senator or congressman from South Carolina.
Nancy Mace.
Yeah. She's pretty hot.
She's the one that got attacked.
Yeah. She put up a thing of the bill, and they got the bill like 2 days ago. It was 1,580 pages. The previous one,
I'm sure it was really easy reading too.
Yeah.
Like something is a real page turner.
Then the previous version was 21 pages long. She had them sitting beside each other, and she like went through. She did it like on her Instagram. She went through it because she was having to try to read this bill. Well, that pisses me off.
And I've never read any of those bills. And I mean, I guess, it's all public record. You probably could. But I would imagine it reads, I would think it reads so confusing. Like, we're like, well, somebody break this down. Like, what does it say? Like, tell me.
Oh, yeah, they want a lawyer to have to break it down for you.
Oh, like the Farm Bill. They're wanting to give a bunch of free food away to poor people, and they're wanting to give a bunch of subsidies to corn farmers. Okay, there we go. Thank you for breaking that down. But it's like the amendments, or not amendments, but like the ballot measures sometimes when you're trying to vote.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the? Like, you have to read it like 18 times. Like, what is it asking me? Like, like, do you want them to be able to sell liquor in a restaurant? Okay, yeah. Why couldn't you have just said it like that?
Yeah, before I voted on that one, I did. I had like Googled and was like reading.
I was like, what the hell is this even asking? Like, I don't. It's so. And hell, I'm a damn doctor. Like, like. Shit.
I know it makes me feel better because I'm just a dumb farmer over here.
But I imagine that's the way. Yeah, and it's like, okay, even if you had time to read 1,500 pages, unless you're some kind of savant or you're a lawyer, which I guess a lot of them are lawyers. You can't even decipher what you're reading. Like, like you're gonna have to read every page like 3 times.
But again, that's what pisses me off.
But that's the way they want it to be.
It is.
Nobody's gonna read it. They hide all kinds of stupid funding for stupid shit. In there.
And I'll tell you,
even this article went into some of the stuff, and I was like, no, why are we giving money to that? Like,
it was. Where was it? I had a thing here.
Well, like some of these like things, like if they want money for that, they can fundraise. Like that doesn't need to be publicly funded. Like just get private donations.
See what pissed them off. Here was the key provisions of the bill. Cuts to SNAP benefits was number 1. The bill proposed significant cuts to the SNAP, which is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or food stamps. That's what we commonly refer to it as.
Yeah, like that's when they say food stamps.
Yeah,
like,
it's food stamps.
Trying to
make it sound better than what it is. So the cuts to SNAP benefits was number 1. That's what really ruffled the feathers of the Democrats. Number 2 is climate smart agriculture. It eliminated climate-focused funding for agriculture practices, which was allocated in the Inflation Reduction Act. So they don't like that. And then rural development. The bill cut funding for rural development programs, including those supporting rural broadband housing and community facilities. I mean, to be honest, like I don't know. The last one was food assistance program. So the bill proposed changes to food assistance program, which includes, that's all of them, SNAP, and it says the Farmers Market Nutrition Program and the Emergency Food Assistance Program, which the bad thing is they get abused. Those things get abused. And it says Democrats oppose the bill, citing concerns over the cuts to SNAP, climate smart ag funding, and rural development. They argued the bill would harm vulnerable populations, including low-income families, children, and the elderly. Of course they did, because that's how they purchase their votes. The Democrats know that by giving these things, and look, like I'm not inherently against food stamps. But I think that I think there should be a timeline on these things. There's people, I mean, look, I've got family that works in some government hospitals, and they see people come in that they're not married. They'll never get married. It'll be a 17-year-old girl, and this will be her second child with like a different dude. And they get all kinds of welfare. They get food stamps. They don't get married because it actually will mess up their funding. If they get married, it lowers their not their food stamp, but their welfare amount. So by staying a single parent, they increase every child. It increases their payment. And that's the thing that pisses me off. It's like, man, they manipulate the system. They're milking it just like these farmers. And this is where I find myself on the farm payment thing. It's like, all right, how can I bitch about these people cheating the system, doing this thing, living on the welfare, because I talked to a farmer one time, and this dude is a good dude. He's a really good guy. But if they had bought a new combine or a new to them combine, and we and him were talking one day, and he was like, man, we're going to get a payment. This was several years ago. And I said, man, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think we are. And he said, man, I ain't going to be able to, we just bought a new combine. I ain't going to be able to afford this combine if they don't give us a payment. And I was just kind of like, I don't know. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I would hate to set my operation up to a place where I am dependent on the government's assistance.
I'm budgeted to have a payment.
That's like people that work in like machinists used to do this, work in a corporate job or whatever, and they depend on their bonus. You know, I was always taught because we would get a Christmas bonus, but I was always told, don't factor in the bonus in your budget because that you don't know. Yeah, it's like the Christmas vacation thing.
You'll be just like Clark Griswold. You've done put down that down payment on the swimming pool you didn't have, and before you know it, all you've gotten is the Jelly of the Month Club.
Yes, that is the gift that keeps on giving.
Clark keeps giving all year round.
Yes, but that's the thing, guys. Don't be dependent on there. And I want to see a shakeup. I've just said I want to see a shakeup in the ag sector. So I don't know. The payments I don't think is the solution. Again, if they come out, hey, go get in on the payment because everybody else is. And again, it's just the playing field.
Once they do it, you gotta you don't need just out of principle say I'm not taking it, unless somehow we can get everybody to do that. But,
and you won't.
What we need is to get it blocked and say no. Look, we're all going to figure out. We're going to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and figure this shit out. And there'll be some of us that might have to find something else to do next year, and that sucks. But
a pat on the back ain't going to help you be competitive with your neighbors. That's the thing. Like I've thought about this in other scenarios. Like
it'll feel good for the short term.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's good. I would have hated to have seen him gone under. And you would have. Like you genuinely feel that way, and like it kind of like you get a warm fuzzy feeling. Like, hey, I'm glad to see old Joe gets to farm again this year.
He's working 25,000 acres. I'm glad he gets to keep.
No, but small guy. I know. But maybe it's just somebody like, man, it just wasn't right for him. Maybe it wasn't all his fault, but I mean, there's all kinds of examples of.
Yeah, he sold a little bad coke, man. One or two bad cocaine.
That shit happened. Like, there's plenty of stories of great athletes that have an injury.
Yeah,
like, man, that's just
that's life.
You didn't deserve that, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you got to play the cards you're dealt. Hey, we got enough time. We're gonna get in just a couple. We got several emails. First one comes in from Nick. Hey guys, I'm 27, farming with my dad in Nebraska. Old Cornhusker. We're a row crop operation, corn and soybeans. Forage, cow-calf operation, along with some custom application work. Now that's just, one of the things I really enjoy about when we get these emails is getting to hear all the irons these dudes have going on. Like they got their iron in a lot of fires. So he says, cow-calf operation along with some custom application work. My question for you guys is, I'm struggling to expand our operation and wondering how to do it. Looking ahead, there's changes coming and want to be ahead of it so I can continue farming full time. So my question is, how does one find more ground to operate on? Talked to a few guys nearing retirement, and they've all mentioned they would consider me when they decide to retire. However, no idea when/if that'll happen. I don't want to be the plat book landowner hunter, but I'm out of ideas. Any thoughts? Love the show. Listen to it every week. Keep up the good work. Thanks, guys. All right, Nick, appreciate you writing in, man. And like I said, anybody go to talkdirtpodcast.com, submit them on the contact page. I'll tell you my thoughts, and I'll let Bobby lead. So first, that's like basically that's like the $1 million question. That is, I don't care if you are a big operator or a small operator. We're all looking for more land. That's how you can spread your costs out. You can make more money, essentially. And so how do you find more ground to operate on? Well, I'll tell you, I think there's a couple of strategies, and we've talked about some of these approaches, and you know, the way that works, and this is kind of what a lot of these huge guys do. And if you just don't care, if you don't care about the people around, like your fellow farmers, then you basically do a shotgun blast of reaching out to landowners, and you pretty much just offer high rent. You say, hey, I'll pay more than whatever your guy's paying. Now that can pick you up some ground, but it don't guarantee you get to keep farming, because you might pay so much rent you go broke. And you'll also develop a lot of enemies. The way that I kind of encourage guys to do this, and I mean, I had experience this year with people noticed my crops on a farm and how good they looked. Like, and they were like, man, you know, they actually asked my landowners, they were like, who works your ground? And they were telling them, and you know, I'm hoping something will come out of that. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Especially at 27, you know, you need to keep building the essentials and kind of learn how to go from there. But one of the things I would tell you to do is get on the Property Viewer. We got Tennessee Property Viewer out here. Look on it. If you got buddies that farm, don't even look at their farms. Like that's how I know some people are like, man, it's just business. It ain't personal, but it is personal to me. So I don't look at one of my buddies' farms. I'm not going to reach out to that landowner at all. And so, but if I'm not like buddies with them, if it's just a dude I know, then I'll send maybe a letter or contact them. I do not tell them that I will pay more rent than what the guy is working. Typically what I've done in that scenario is I might send them a letter, and I will say, if you ever decide to change, I would love the opportunity. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, honestly, if I found out somebody said that to one of my landowners, I'd be like, well, that's a pretty straightforward way of doing it. Like, it would piss me off if somebody contacted one of my landowners and said, hey, I'll pay you more than Logan Hanks. But if they're like, if you ever decide to change, then give me a shot. I think that's a pretty fair thing to do. So yeah. Now it ain't going to burn your door down with people being like, all right, but that's one thing I would do. Another thing that I know Griggs and them do, he's got the data to show how he can build the soil, increase the yields. Like, he's got data, like data books that he shows up with. That's a pretty cool thing, in my opinion, because not many people are doing that. Like, if you could go, and not all landowners are going to care. Some of them are only going to care about the money, but some of them will be like, man, this dude, look at that. He's building the ground up over here. Like, that's what he's going to do to my farm. That's the dude I want on my farm. So I would try that. And don't be afraid to, advertise on social media. Like, I leverage it. Being a young guy, you need to leverage some of the things that are in your corner. Social media technology is going to be more in your favor than the 60-year-old dude that's out there. So, man, leverage social media. Like I say, run some ads or whatever. I mean, that's kind of my thoughts. Yeah,
and part of me just, from a landowner standpoint, that free market, like, yes, some things are more valuable than just get more rent. But, a landowner, I could see them getting, saying, well, if I can get $250 an acre instead of $225, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, from a farmer standpoint, like say, you don't want to go broke paying rent.
I was going to say, that's the key phrase here. I meant to say, yeah, don't go broke paying rent.
But yeah, building up those relationships, I know you said you had talked to some of those guys, but and I don't know all the dynamics of, socially and all in your area. And if, it's a situation where, yeah, you can really get to know some of those people and be friends with them, help them out. I don't know if some of them are you said nearing retirement, but like if they need some help, or maybe they're big outfits and got all the help they need, but, just so that, hey, whenever, it comes down to it, and hopefully they are one of those people where, yeah, relationship matters. They're not just going to simply go to the highest bidder.
Yep.
Because if it becomes all about just being the highest bidder,
you don't even want that landowner anyways.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, it may only be a year or two. Yeah, every year they're going to want to, put it up for, basically just take bids. And
yeah. I can thankfully say I don't have any landowners like that. I've heard stories of guys that their land, they do a year-to-year lease on farms, and that is, as a landowner, that's really stupid. I understand they're doing it thinking, oh man, but I'm getting the most money, and it's like, yeah, but your ground is getting absolutely mined because
nobody is farming it with any thoughts on the future.
No, I would never lime a farm that I'm going to be on a year-to-year basis.
Yeah, cover crop, any of that. Like, you can't because leases usually run January to December.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you wouldn't even plan
you would get no benefit.
Yeah.
You don't even know if you're going to get to benefit. It's like, okay, I'm going to plant a cover crop that somebody else might get to benefit out of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, in
reality, you'd like to be like 5-10 year leases. What's the standard?
I do a lot of 3 to 5 year leases. 3 years is kind of what people are pretty comfortable doing, and 3 years is about the minimum that I want to do.
Yeah.
5 year is perfect. A 10 year would be awesome. I've never gotten a 10 year.
Because then you could, and I mean, I guess you could put like provisions in there where like, hey, because we don't know what the economy is going to be like. It might be worth a lot more. But I want to have first right of refusal, even if it needs more and you find more rent, or whatever, it comes down to that. But yeah, because I want to do some things that are going to benefit this ground for, generations to come, not just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 10-year leases would be awesome. And I have actually I've heard of guys like some of the big operators. I've heard that they had some pretty outlandish type releases like that, where they lock down a place for just a long freaking time. And that's part of the reason why they have so much ground. So Nick, appreciate you writing in, man. That's like I say, that's the like burning question. I know guys that have been in it forever that still are like, I don't know how in the hell to pick up more ground. And so, you just got to basically, as a young guy, I feel like you figure out how to stay in the game, because the thing that you got, barring some crazy disaster happening or some awful thing happening, it's kind of like the Afghan war. And the old guys are like, they're actually the Americans, and the young guys are like the Afghanis.
Yeah. And
it's like, well, the old guys, they got all the watches, but we got all the time. And so, that's kind of, you're the guerrilla warfare guys, and you got to wait out these bastards. And a 27-year-old, statistically, you got a hell of a lot more time than the 60-year-old guy. So, try to just get yourself established and get the foundation set so that as some of these guys get out of the picture, you can be there to capitalize. And, and now, like we said, things are going to change. I feel like this ag scene is going to change because I really feel like it just doesn't have a choice. I mean, Brazil, I didn't talk about them in any of this episode, but they're getting really good weather forecasts, and they're predicting probably record yields again in Brazil. Yeah. So Brazil is most likely going to be badass again this year, and it's like 40% of the total soybeans exported in the world come out of Brazil. So now corn, the U.S. is king. We're still the big blocks, big man on block when it comes to corn. And corn may be the route to go next year, but I don't know, man. You just gotta, if you figure out the absolute solution to finding land, then write back in and let me know what it is. Because hey, I'm also always on the prowl because I need it. So
yeah, just got to keep on keeping on.
Got to keep on keeping on.
Life's a garden. Dig it.
Dig it. Yeah, and you know my motto was always you got to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Van Halen sucks. I hadn't watched that movie in a long time.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
Joe Dirte.
Yeah.
It's a classic. I guess we need to end it with. We did this. We've covered some of the Christmas. All right, I got a little different one.
Yeah, we didn't just totally Christmas this one up. But
no.
Yeah.
What is your? I've got on my.
Well, it's kind of weird because we're sitting here recording where I guess Christmas was a week from yesterday as we record, so it still feels like we got several days till Christmas. But obviously, the podcast just comes out once a week, so it's our last one.
I got the shirt on my sweater where Santa's shitting in a chimney. You know, I got my.
I ordered something. I don't want to give it away because it looks like I'm not going to have it till next year. Damn eBay. You buy much shit off eBay?
No, I hadn't. I've bought a few things, but it's been a long time.
Well, like some shit you buy on there, and it's like, it's not made in China. I mean, it is, but it's like coming from China.
Oh, wow.
Like I ordered this thing. I had to look, see what day I even ordered it. No, like literally like the shipping info that I get, it's like in Chinese. It's like, it's in like some town I can't even pronounce. And I'm like, God dang, I ordered this on December 3rd.
It still ain't even shipped?
Oh, it has. But
some poor little kid is in like a paddle boat having to paddle that thing here from China.
So when you click on the shipping, it's Yun Express.
Wow. Yeah, that is some Chinese stuff. So that will not be highlighted on our Made in USA segment.
No. And then I knew it was cheap as hell. It was for like a...
Is it the Griswold jersey?
No. But it...
Well, my curiosity is too piqued, man. What is it?
Oh, I can't say because... Well, I'll show you a picture of it. But yeah, all it says is shipment is in transit to next facility, mainland China.
I bought a leather.
So God only knows. Like, it might be February before I get this.
Yeah.
I'm like, they need to tell you that before you order. But of course, they ain't gonna do that because then you would never.
Then you wouldn't order it. Yeah.
They wouldn't sell shit.
I bought a faux leather jacket, like it's just a thin brown leather jacket, and it came from China, and it is. I didn't know it was coming from China. It was from like one of these like little businesses on like Instagram or Facebook, and it was called like Texas Leather or something. Yeah. And it came from China, and even the package had like Chinese down the packaging on there, and I was like, wow. That's awesome. Dang, you ain't gonna have it by Christmas.
Hell no. And I was gonna take it as we have our office Christmas party. You have to like bring a funny gift or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, that's what I ordered. I ordered it.
Dang. Yeah, that would be great.
Our party was last weekend. Like, I figured I was going to order it. It was going to be coming from, like, New York.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell no.
Man, dang, it would be a good one.
But this has happened to me before at Christmas, specifically for stuff for that party. Cause
yeah. Tipsy Elves. That's the way you need to go, man. They got this is the second Tipsy
and
Elves.
that's an actual sweater.
Yeah, it's a sweater. Like it's
because a lot of these like that.
I'm sure they're super thin.
Well, it's like a sweatshirt that's like just got a print on it to make it look.
Yeah,
like
no, and I had one from Catching Deers. I had one of theirs, and it was a sweatshirt. But no, this is a sweater.
That's an actual Christmas sweater.
Yeah, and he's like I said, Santa's shitting down the chimney.
It's quite graphic. Yeah.
Well, I'm aware of. So Sunday at our church, we have Tacky Sweater Day, and that's what when I was getting ready for the show tonight, I got out of the shower and I was putting on the other sweater, and because I got another one, and I told my wife, I said, I got to wear one of these Sunday because it's Tacky Sweater, and she was like, well, you're not. I said, it's either going to be, I said, can I wear the one of him shitting in the chimney to church? And she was like, no, you cannot. So I said, dang, all right. So I said, I'll wear it tonight. So my other one, it shows Santa, and he's looking in the window, and it says, I watch you sleep. And it just is real creepy looking. So that's the one I'm wearing to church, because she said this one is not appropriate because he's pooping down the chimney.
I mean, you got to go. You got to go.
You got to go. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't show any like nudity.
No, and it's. I mean, he's reading a newspaper. Like it's pretty.
I mean, hell, everybody does it.
They do. It's pretty chill. I mean, honestly, like I don't know what's more disturbing, him pooping down a chimney or him being like, I watch you sleep, and he's looking in your window.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones on Tipsy Elves, man. There's some that it's like, damn, I could never wear that one, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, all right, number one Christmas song. What's your number one Christmas song? Mariah Carey.
I think I'll go too, because I think my number one would just be Silent Night.
By who? Josh Groban?
Oh, I'm just the song itself, like us singing it at church. Like
Gotcha.
Like just as a traditional Christmas song, like to me, that's the one song that it's like.
That is a great song.
And then more like pop culture-ish song. Oh, it's always Robert Earl Keen, Merry Christmas from the Family.
Really?
I love that version. It was good when Montgomery Gentry did it too. But oh man, yeah.
That is a good one, but that one's kind of surprised me.
I love all the mom got drunk and dad got drunk. Talking about.
That is a good one. I haven't heard that one in a long time, actually.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah.
So is that one you do jam it every year?
Oh yeah. I'll go to Spotify and like I'll try to like put it on that channel, so it's like playing like trashy Christmas songs like that.
All right, what?
So what's yours?
Well, my number one is super easy. It's the Christmas Song by Nat King Cole. When I hear that song, I'm like immediately.
I don't even know that I know it. I would probably know it if I heard it.
You would definitely know it, man. I'll have to play it for you off air because we'd get a damn copyright strike.
Yeah.
But I'll make a note because I know you've heard it.
I'm sure I have.
It's a great song. Like I hear it.
I'm kind of, people would consider me a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas music. I'm like here again, we're sitting here recording on the 19th, so I'm like in Christmas music mode, but I am not the guy that wants Christmas music played the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, I don't get to jamming it for.
Well, I mean, it just you overdo it, and you're like, okay, by the time it gets to Christmas, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired of Christmas music.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're less than a week out. Like, yeah, play the Christmas music now.
My number two is probably "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" by Brenda Lee. Yeah. I love that song. I always think of Home Alone as like, I always think of that movie. So that one is, I don't know, them two, but a Christmas song by Nat King Cole. Like when we were actually, man, I was custom harvesting for somebody this year, and it was like pretty early. It was in November, but. We had been talking about Christmas. I got my Bluetooth in the combine, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to get a little bit of the Christmas spirit going. I turned on the Christmas song by Nat King Cole, and I sent my wife a picture of it. She was like, oh my gosh. She was like, you're starting early. And I was like, I had the mood. I was in the mood, had to listen to it. So like, that's my go-to. Just like, A Christmas Story is my number one movie for Christmas, a Christmas song. I guess I'm a very simple guy. Like I like A Christmas Story and I like the Christmas song.
I bet we had a Christmas movie on tonight you hadn't seen.
That I haven't seen? What?
It was Red One.
With The Rock.
Oh damn, you've seen it.
I have not watched it from start to finish, but it was they were playing it when my kids were at my parents' the other day.
Well, we were kind of trying this past week getting the Christmas spirit, and so I told the kids, like, every night we're going to watch a Christmas movie. And, but of course, like I said, we had a Christmas party last night. We had a Christmas program Monday night. So we really.
Well, they're probably out of school after tomorrow, aren't they?
No, my last day was yesterday.
Oh, really? Mine go tomorrow, and then they're out half day tomorrow.
So yeah, today's Thursday. So we watched one on Sunday night, Tuesday night, and then tonight my daughter was actually spending the night with a friend. But Willis was watching, and I didn't even realize it was a Christmas movie. I was like, I guess this is. And like, yeah. He's like, yeah. But it was Red One. I didn't really even watch it because I'd been like DVRing a bunch of stuff. And like,
it didn't suck me in what I've seen. But what about Die Hard? Have you shown him that one?
I've got it DVR.
Is Willis going to watch it with you?
I will let him. Like, he's unfortunately heard me say most of those words. Actually, this is bad. As he was sitting there watching Red One, and I think he thought he was being funny, he's like, "Hey, Dad, that guy just said asshole just like you do."
What'd you say?
Me and my wife both just like, it didn't even get a laugh out because we're like, it's probably better if we don't laugh about it. But
Yeah,
I was like,
don't give
I was
him
like,
the-
dude, you're pressing your luck because like
Yeah.
he knew good and well he wasn't supposed to say that.
But he's like, how can he be mad? Because I'm saying that it's something that he said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I got that one. We got to watch Home Alone at some point because, well, so far we've just done National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the animated Grinch, not the one with Jim Carrey.
The old one?
No, it's the new one.
Okay. Yeah.
It was just we were kind of trying to find something. It was getting late. It's like, all right, we just got to pick something and watch it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do Home Alone. We'll do A Christmas Story. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
But
well,
I'm trying to think. I'm running out of nights because, like I said, tomorrow night we'll probably go out to eat. Saturday night we'll have
yeah, you
football
are
on.
running out of nights.
We got
They're going to have to watch during the day some.
Yeah, we got a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tuesday I'm off work, and then of course we got all day Christmas Day. We can do a marathon.
We got to watch. So we have watched. The first one I watched was Christmas Vacation. I popped the cherry with
Dude,
that one.
There is not every time they don't waste any lines in that movie. Like the entire, I can't tell you how many times I stopped it and rewound it.
Yeah.
Because that's like the writing on that movie.
It was great.
And
Yeah,
I don't know how much of it like.
was ad-libbed or
Yeah,
something?
because if it was Randy Quaid, like that was a masterpiece. And I mean Chevy Chase is great too.
Yeah.
But like masterful. Like he could not have nailed that character. I don't know if
he
there's
is
ever been
Cousin
anybody
Eddie.
nail a character any better than that.
Yeah.
Like just every single little line, even when it's not a line that you think of, you're like, he nailed it. Like that was
Yes.
perfect. Like
Yeah, no, it is
that
great.
movie is hilarious.
That was our first one was that one, and then our second was Home Alone.
Yeah.
and then,
Willis keeps wanting Home Alone and my daughter just because they always want to disagree and fight. She's
she don't like Home Alone?
I think she does, but because Willis wants to watch
Gotcha.
Home Alone, she wants to watch
Something else. Yeah, that's our go-tos for sure.
What's your
And
favorite Hallmark Christmas movie?
I don't even know the name of a Hallmark Christmas
Well,
movie.
you don't. I mean, just
They're all the
I was
same.
about to say they're all the same plot. I mean,
Yeah, the one I was in.
yeah.
That's the one that no, it wasn't a Christmas movie.
Well,
But
it's a small town girl gets swept off her feet by a big city guy who.
you know, I've never even watched it, to be honest with you.
No, I'm just talking about
all
that's
of
the
them.
plot to all of them.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. There's some really good. I wish I could think of the name. There's a really good Instagram page where that's what they do. They just make fun of Hallmark movies, and it is hilarious. They're spot on. But no, I tell you one we always watch. I love Polar Express. That one is really good.
I never.
Man, I like it. I like Polar Express.
I think you're just enough younger than me that it came out probably when you were a kid, and like.
Yeah, let's see, when did Polar Express come out? Because and Tom Hanks our cousin does the voice of like half the people in there.
See, I can't even hate on it that much because I don't know that I've ever just watched the whole thing.
2004. So yeah, I was. Oh man, in 2004, what was that, like 14,
Well, what year were you born?
13, 91?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, 13. But Polar Express. Take a newer one that's not bad. I mean, I say newer, it's been out several years. Christmas Chronicles. Have you seen it with Kurt Russell?
No?
Man, he plays a damn good Santa Claus. Kurt Russell, which I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan.
Actually, one of the ones, Ernest Saves Christmas.
I love Ernest Saves
I was
Christmas.
like, I can't even remember that I've seen that one. I'm sure I have.
Oh,
But I was
yeah.
like, we're going to watch that one.
We always get in Ernest Saves Christmas, and at Halloween we get in Ernest Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
My kids love some Ernest. Ernest goes to prison. There's a part where I showed Levi and them that one, and he gets like on a vacuum cleaner, and somehow it's like got him on top of the ceiling, and it's like running, and he's like, Jim Varney, he's like freaking out, and Levi, I thought he was gonna pee himself. He was laughing so hard, and so I love that they enjoy them. So yeah, no, Ernest, that's one, man, that's one that never gets mentioned, but that's a solid one. Ernest Saves Christmas. So there's a lot of good ones, man. It's But again, on Christmas Day, I will watch Christmas Eve and probably Christmas Day. I will watch A Christmas Story. Like that is my ritual. I'll never forget years ago, because every Christmas Eve we get together with y'all. All y'all come to my parents, and we would always watch A Christmas Story. And I remember one time your dad was like, I'm tired of watching A Christmas Story. Can we watch something else? And we watched the War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. And I was like, what in the fuck are we doing?
That's a damn good movie.
It is. But I was like, this is not even Christmas. Like,
remember one year, I think it was my son he got sick on Christmas Eve, so we couldn't come.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and daughter went, but
yeah,
he and I sat at home, which he was asleep. I watched Die Hard.
Yeah,
I was sitting there on the couch drinking on Christmas Eve by myself watching Die Hard.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he started running a fever like Christmas Eve afternoon. I'm like,
yep.
Well, one of us isn't getting to go. And so
yeah,
I drew the short straw.
I gotta watch Die Hard. What about Die Hard 2? Is it a Christmas movie?
Hell, I don't know.
I think I saw some people arguing that it might be. So, I don't know. Well, there's y'all's Christmas rundown. You want to cue?
You can do your prime rib this year?
I need to do one. I actually looked at some at Nafy's.
But say you need to go up there and order one.
Do you order one from them?
Well, I went up there to the meat counter the other day.
You tell them like how big of a size you want?
Yeah, you tell them exactly. Because, I mean, they don't, obviously they have a bunch of rib eyes and all. And you might just walk in there on
They
Christmas
had
Eve.
prime ribs today.
Oh,
but
they had
but
some already set out there?
the prime rib roast.
Yeah.
But now, what size are you wanting? How many pounds?
I get about 10 pounds.
I don't know that these were that big.
Yeah. And
These look like...
I want it 10 pounds with the bones off.
Yeah.
Now, they sell it to you with the bones on because it's...
I didn't look at the weight on there.
But then I want it 10 pounds with no bones on.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't.
I get them to... Some people want to cook them with the bones on, but like... I sent
think
you that article. That guy...
He does it without the
Well,
bones.
he's like, the bones don't add anything to it. And
Yeah.
In fact, they keep you from getting bark on that part of it.
Yeah. Now, these were probably 5 pounds because I held my wiener in my hand to see if it felt like 10 pounds because it's about 10 pounds and that prime rib wasn't quite that. But,
and that's a good size one. But I'm like, we don't know who all's going to show up.
Yeah.
And we invite extra people.
I think the one I cooked years ago had the bone in it.
Yeah. I always have them go ahead and trim it off. And I was
Do you wrap the twine around it?
Oh, yeah, because you want it to be as cylindrical as you can get it.
Yeah.
So it'll cook even.
Yeah.
And then once you cut that off, like it goes back to like normal shape of ribeye.
I'm kind of torn between that and a brisket because they had some brisket up there, and I really like cooking brisket. I've only ever done one, but I really enjoyed it.
I definitely prefer a prime rib. It's just...
I would rather eat a prime rib, but
As a brisket, I mean, I like barbecue, but like it's just, I mean, it's barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing wrong with it. And I think I've done pretty well on a brisket a time or two. But
yeah.
Yeah, a prime rib, which prime rib's a hell of a lot more expensive.
And a prime rib, yeah, it's hard to beat a good prime rib. I used to go, I don't remember if it was Firebirds or where, but I used to get a prime rib there all the time. But a lot of times you'd go, last few times I go, they were always out. But I love a prime rib.
It's one of those things, right, because it takes it a long time to cook. And so I say it takes a long time. I think mine used to take 3 or 4 hours.
I was going to say about 4 hours, yeah.
You show up to a restaurant, if they ain't goddamn ready, yeah, you just...
Yeah, they ain't going to, yeah. You want to cue the man?
The man...
For just a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to do? We'll call up our buddy Trump, see if he can...
He needs to make us a...
Hey, can you... I'm telling you, man, I'm a damn boomer. This damn new phone.
You can't find
I
it.
don't know how to find anything. They all make it all so damn weird. All right, here we go. Hold on, Joe.
Yeah, he's wandering off.
What the? We're a true professional.
We're 160 something episodes in, and we still...
With 2 words. Made in America.
Made in America. All right, so I'm going to highlight our good buddy Tim DeSalvo actually met us here tonight. He was like, what time are y'all recording? And we told him, and he said, I got some gifts for y'all. I'm coming by. And we've given him a shout out
I
and
was
said
really surprised he brought bourbon.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? We've said he's like our unofficial sponsor, and he brought several, and I'm going to highlight George Remus. I've never had this until tonight.
I'm unfamiliar with it entirely.
King of the bootleggers.
King of the bootleggers, straight bourbon whiskey. So we know it's from Kentucky.
Yep. And it's good. It's good stuff. I'll put my stamp of approval. I have had a glass. That's what I've been drinking on tonight.
It's actually distilled by Ross and Squibb in Indiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So then how's it a bourbon?
I don't know. I guess because maybe it's...
Is it aged in Kentucky?
I don't know. Yeah, those... Which Kentucky, I don't know. Are they Yankees? Indiana
is,
for
but
damn sure Yankees.
Kentucky, I think, is actually still considered slightly in the South, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Which, parts of Tennessee we're kind of loyal to the North.
Yeah. Not us. We're deep South over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. George Remus. And I will put my stamp of approval on there.
Perfect for the speakeasy or liquor cabinet. Yep, he was the king of the bootleggers. All right.
I would have loved to have been a bootlegger in years past, so that's fitting.
You just have to stick to the cocaine.
I might stick to the cocaine today.
You can bootleg cococaine. I mean,
yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, hey, I'm a modern day bootlegger. And I don't even cut mine with fentanyl. Like it's you
I
get
don't even think apparently you can't grow it here, can you?
What do they make it out of? That's not poppy seed. What is
It's the coca plant, or isn't it?
Is that the same thing? That's not the same that they do chocolate cocoa. Like, is it?
Hell, I don't know.
We are the worst. We joke. Look, guys, I love to joke about drugs, and I think I love to joke about drugs because I have never done drugs. Like
it's the coca plant.
Is it what they get cocoa for chocolate out of?
Hell, here we go.
I was going to say, because it's white. Why ain't it black?
Coca is known worldwide for its psychoactive alkaloid, cocaine. I don't know if it's the same family. I'm not a botanist.
You're not an expert on this.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like Columbia.
Yeah.
The country, not Columbia, Tennessee. But
it's got to be very tropical.
Cash crop in Argentina, Northwest Bolivia, the Alto Rio Negro territory in Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, and Peru, and even in areas where cultivation is unlawful. Yeah, of course. I don't think I guess even surely somebody's tried to grow it in greenhouses here.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they have, and it is funny. I feel like you and I are probably two of the worst voices on drugs.
Why is that?
Because we're not particularly experienced with drugs.
Oh, you mean worse people to actually talk?
Right, yeah, like to give to speak from experience.
Yeah, we make a cocaine reference every week, and yeah.
I have never done cocaine. I'm certain Bobby Lee's never done cocaine.
No, I don't. It's another one of those I'll say I've never done it, but I can't even really brag about it because I don't know that I've ever even seen it.
I've never seen cocaine. I've got a good friend of mine, really good friend of mine, that actually said cocaine is the best drug he's ever done. He said that he was like, if I could take any drug and it would have no ramifications on my body and like all this, he said,
no ill effects.
Yeah, no ill effects. He was like, I would do cocaine every day. He said, because everything is better. He was like, life is better, sex is better. Like, he said, you're just happy. He was like, it literally just makes everything better. But he said the problem with cocaine is it's never quite as good of a high as the first time. So he said guys are, and I think it's the same what I've heard with like crystal meth and all that. Like, you're always chasing that high.
Well, I know, like with opiates, just because we use them.
The dogs, they're like ravenous, like
you develop a tolerance to it, so it takes to get that same effect. You need more.
Gotcha.
You need more. You need more. Like a lot of people who have to chronically take them for pain and things like that, which obviously we know that's probably not a good idea to begin with. Probably should have never gone down that route, even though they are great pain relievers. Yeah, they need more. They need more. They need more.
Yep.
Yeah, you develop a tolerance to it. So
Yeah.
Well, it's like not too different from alcohol, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You're in high school, you take 3 sips of beer, and you were ready to have a good time, and
Yeah.
now you're a 6-pack in before you get there.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No, and look, guys, best thing you can do is let's just not do any cocaine.
Yeah,
Hey,
I hope everyone knows
we are thoroughly joking when we talk about cocaine. If you really wonder if we're doing cocaine, we can put that to rest right now. I've never done cocaine. I don't have any plan. I'm a never say never kind of guy, but I'm not particularly planning on doing cocaine. So at this point in my life, I don't know why.
I'll say this. I'm just about 100% certain there are prescription drugs that are prescribed and taken every day that are probably worse.
Worse.
You know.
Yeah. Did you ever, there was old, have you ever heard of Jacked 3D?
Mm-mm.
Man, Jacked 3D was like the workout supplement back in the day.
Okay.
And
I wasn't sure if it was like a movie or it was like a.
it'd be a cool movie too, Jacked 3D.
It's like a IMAX movie or something.
Yeah. No, it was it wasn't creatine, and I think it might have been a pre-workout, but I think that it had like some paraphernalia traces in it because it got outlawed. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a couple of guys that I know, I'll tell you off air, you know of them, they were involved in the creation of that.
Really? Did they make a lot of money in it?
I think they did pretty well in it.
I'll be damned.
Yep. And now one of them's involved in a very prominent company that's really exploded over the last couple of years.
Well,
And you are very familiar with them as well.
we'll have to end the episode.
It's LH Farms. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go, yeah.
No, but yeah, all right, guys. Go to agzaga.com. Get your last minute stuff. Hey, if it comes in a little late, that's all right. A late gift is
It'll
that's
be-
like
it'll be
icing on the
my
cake.
Chinese ugly Christmas shirt.
Yeah.
It'll be here in time for next year.
Yeah.
Just put it in the top of the closet and don't forget about it.
Then you'll be like Clark and pull it out and blow the dust off of it. That old gift.
Start up there in the attic watching old films.
Yes.
Yeah, which again, all the water hoses, whatnot. Hey, we're getting into cold weather. You don't want to have, old crappy hoses you're trying to water animals with that are breaking and cracking. Those Flexzilla hoses. Get ready for hay season. All that good stuff. But yeah, hopefully you already got all your toys ordered. But most important, to use that discount code Talk Dirt.
All caps.
All one word.
Yep. Go check them out. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating and a review. And like I said, submit your questions, talkdirtpodcast.com on the contact page. And guys, we hope y'all have a very Merry Christmas. And we will catch you next week.